Some mistakes end in horrible consequences. Others go unnoticed. But most noteworthy are those mistakes that continue to reverberate and annoy millions for more than a century. In 1859, an English tenant farmer named Thomas Austin of Barwon Park in Winchelsea, Australia, missed the hunts he used to enjoy in England. He had made a fortune in Australia, and he wished to have hunts in his new home, as did several of his upper-crust buddies. Unwilling to lower himself to hunt the local game, he insisted on importing 72 partridges, 5 hares, and 24 wild rabbits from England. Austin's subsequent hunting parties made him immensely popular with the British men who were starved for proper hunts. The first official hunting party took place on Christmas Day, 1859, which was apropos, since releasing those 24 rabbits would prove to be a perpetual gift to the Australian ecosystem. The initial 24 bred like mad. In 1867, a local newspaper reported a kill near Barwon Park of over 14,000 rabbits, all descendants of those first 24. That same year, in a move that has since caused no end of hindsight-induced wincing, Austin was awarded a medal by the Acclimatization Society for his successful introduction of the English rabbit to Australia. Successful, in this case, is a relative term. Rabbits have no natural predator in Australia, nor were there any local diseases that would claim them. Meanwhile, they ate any greenery they could sink their teeth into, often at the expense of the native sheep, cattle, and other livestock. They bred like, well, rabbits, and soon Australia was covered in a soft, gray, furry carpet. At first, many of the locals welcomed the rabbits. In 1866, landowners begged the government to legislate to protect the rabbits as they were being attacked by those who disliked having their crops eaten by hordes of bunnies. By 1872, those same landowners were begging even more fervently for legislation to make the destruction of rabbits compulsory. In 1907, the Western Australian #1 rabbit-proof fence was completed. It stretched over 1,100 miles, a distance twice the length of Great Britain, from Starvation Boat Harbor on the south coast to a point near Cape Caraudrin on the northwest coast. Guarded by riders on camels, the fence was constructed to prevent the rabbits from literally eating their way across Australia. Regrettably, such a massive fence proved impossible to maintain, and it proved ultimately ineffective. At their wits' end, a desperate government offered £25,000 to anyone who could come up with a solution. This brought out a bizarre collection of ideas, but few that worked, and none that worked for long. There were dabbles in eugenics, boatloads of poisons, a few mystics, engineered diseases, prayer vigils, and irradiation, but no prize winners. In the mid-1990s, a rabbit calcivirus disease was launched, which dropped the rabbit populations in the more arid parts of Australia by 95%. It is still only a partial solution, but it's the best they have. Thomas Austin's desire for hunting authentic game has reduced an entire continent to an island of Elmer Fudds, continually confounded by a cursed, rampaging horde of wascally rabbits.